A politician has caused uproar after storming into Parliament wearing a burqa, dramatically unveiling herself, then demanding the Islamic garment, which she called a prison of cloth, be banned. Virginia Martinez was ordered to remove the veil before she spoke.
We are glad that such clothing is not allowed because after 50 years of democracy, we have come to see how women have to live in prisons of cloth, which is not freedom for any woman in this society. Therefore, we are glad that it is not allowed in this parliament, which is a sovereign body of the region of Murcia. And since it is not allowed in this parliament, it should not be allowed in any public place in this region of Murcia, because the assembly represents the region of Murcia. But what is happening today is that the Popular Party and the Socialist Party are importing cultures that teach girls from a very young age that they have to dress in this way.
Posting on X after, Martinez declared that if the garment couldn't be worn in the Murcia Regional Parliament, then it shouldn't be worn in the street either. Tensions have been rising in Spain since immigration dramatically increased under the Socialist Party. Many migrants make their way to a Spanish exclave on the tip of Morocco, Ceuta. Once there, they're transferred to the mainland. Others set off by boat from West Africa to the Canary Islands. The uptick in migration has caused tensions with locals. Earlier this year, I reported riots had broken out in the town of Torre Pacheco after a migrant attacked a pensioner. A politician even threatened to jail a journalist who questioned the wisdom in Spain's open-door policy to migration.
Hello, I'm Bev Turner. Now, it can feel like the money in our bank accounts at the moment does not keep up with the cost of living, and maybe there's a solution. I'm here today with the CEO of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. Cameron, what is TallyMoney?
Well, Bev, with TallyMoney, you get a current account and a debit card, but instead of pounds, you use milligrams of gold as your everyday money.
So why gold?
Gold traditionally is a great store of value. It has, on average, gone up at over 11% per annum for the last 25 years against the pound. It's tripled in value in the last decade. And in the last 2 years alone, it's increased by 50% against the pound. Banks' savings products just can't compete with that level of growth.
But this isn't just about gold. This is about a currency that you guys have created at TallyMoney. Explain it to me as though I'm an idiot.
So, look, people need to be able to hold their earnings and build their savings in a money that retains its value and remains in their legal control and remains theirs to access, away from government control.
Great. You had me at not exposed to government control.
You should feel safe and happy with your money. You should have peace of mind. The more money you see in your bank balance, and that's the type of thing we're trying to deliver, and give people choice in the type of money they get to use every day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you.
Clashes flared between the Spanish and migrant youths overnight, as locals uncovered a group chat calling on migrants to go for the Spaniards. Residents took to X saying groups of Moroccan youths were attacking lone locals. Violence erupted after a 60-year-old man was attacked in the town of Torre Pacheco, which was blamed on the town's migrant community, though no arrests have been made. Furious locals confronted one man of Moroccan origin, who took out his phone to show he had nothing to do with the attack, but in doing so, locals saw a group chat which called on migrants to go for the Spaniards. This was live-streamed and went viral around Spain, seeming to confirm locals' fears the migrants wanted to attack them. Clashes ensued as Spaniards accused the police of targeting them. The unrest spread to other parts of Spain. The country's version of BBC Verify tried to calm tensions by combating misinformation.
de Torre Pacheco y nos también con el Ayuntamiento de Torre Pacheco que vemos aquí en el que, como dices, se culpa a la...
But the first comment on YouTube said they are one drink away from saying the old man self-harmed, perhaps representing citizens' distrust. National newspaper El País said the Spaniards involved in the clashes had started on the migrant community in Torre Pacheco, who were fearful of further attacks. That there was an organised hunt for the migrants perpetrated by the far right. It went on to say the groups were outsiders, not locals who got along well with the migrants. That the Moroccans were in fact Spanish, but they felt alienated from the country, which meant they were unhappy, unemployed and not studying. In one clip, a migrant can be seen yelling homophobic epithets to the Spanish residents while waving a Moroccan flag. Clips shared on social media showed multiple injuries. Regional authorities said multiple people had sustained the injuries and there had been at least one arrest. But despite a large police presence, it seemed they had lost control of the streets, as both sides roamed with batons and other weapons. The Conservative head of the Murcian regional government, Fernando López Miras, said in a post on X, Torre Pacheco must get back to normal. I understand the frustration, but nothing justifies violence. Watching on, Ben Leo and his panel said Britain had to get control of its borders if it's to avoid such scenes repeating themselves here.
Violent clashes are erupting right now, tonight, between far-right groups and local residents and North African migrants in a town in southeastern Spain. The catalyst has been an attack on an elderly man by unknown assailants earlier in the week. 5 people were hurt, 1 was arrested during the unrest in Torre Pacheco, and is one of the worst such episodes of unrest in the country Spain has seen in recent decades. So, Paul, I'll say again, I do not want to see this happening in the UK. I hope tensions don't boil over to a point where we see similar things. I mean, I guess you could argue we already did last year with Southport under the guise that, you know, at one point this Axel Rudabakana was a small boat migrant. But is this a sign of things to come?
No, of course it is. I mean, already we've described the people that are the aggressors in this situation are far right. It's not far right to want to protect your community. It's not far right to want to protect your country. It's not far right to want to protect the incumbent culture in which you can well be very proud of without being far right. What's happening in Spain, what's happened in France, what's happened in the Nordic countries, what will happen in the UK is that people are getting fed up. And Bill, you said that you can't stop this overnight. Of course you can. You have to break laws to stop this overnight. But if the laws don't protect your people, then break every single one of them. I'm sorry, stand on the cliffs of Dover and use force to stop dinghies coming, because every single dinghy is full of at least 50% of people that would cause harm to the culture of this country if they were given the chance.
Send them back to France?
Yeah.
I would send them back to wherever they came from. I wouldn't care less.
It's contrary to international maritime law.
I couldn't care less for that either.
You would need France's agreement.
No, I don't. This is the point. This is the point. We have got to a point. Well, I don't care.
We haven't agreed to France launching a load of dinghies off their coast towards our waters every day.
Just send them back. If those people, just imagine this, Bill, that if you were an aggressor against the UK, you were Russia or somewhere like that, would you not support these immigrants coming across on dinghies to disrupt this country?
Well, there was a huge splash.
It goes on all throughout the Baltic countries. Right now, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, Russia are flooding in immigration to try and undermine those Baltic countries. They've been doing that across Europe for years, and it's happening in the UK. We have to stop it to protect our country. I couldn't care less what law it breaks. At some point, we are going to have to break laws.
And my view is that you've got to tackle it with proportionate and legal means. So actually getting the French to intervene in shallow waters, the one-in-one...
They're not doing it, Bill. I know it's a great idea. And if I was an old Labour MP, I would think it was a great idea too, but it's nonsense.
You say it's not happening. It was announced last week, and explicit within the announcement is this will happen in the next few weeks. So, you know, just because something doesn't happen immediately doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Usually when politicians say a few weeks, it means a few years at least.
But it's also not just...
That's nonsense, Bill.
It should have given us a date on when it's going to start in that announcement.
Next few weeks.
Bill,
that's not a date. That's ambiguous.
It's not ambiguous because the maximum of a few weeks is 3 or 4 weeks. If it hasn't happened in that time, you'll be right.
Let's have a fiver bet on it, Bill. It's not going to happen.
I believe it when I see it. And
Sorry?
Let's have a £5 bet on it.
I'd go more than that.
Given Labour's track record on the past year on, sticking to their promises, I don't think many people are going to buy the saying a few weeks.
And also, I'll just say as well, you say progress doesn't happen immediately. It's not just that progress isn't happening immediately, it's just getting far, far worse.
Going backwards.
Immediately. We're going backwards. 44,000, I think.
We're not.
1,200
right.
since
Net
Starmer met
migration
Macron.
is down by half since the general election. And before you say it, yes, a number of the measures were actually, in the dog days of the last Tory government, agreed. Labour didn't oppose them, and they've actually reduced net migration by 500,000.
Every day.
Labour did not reduce net migration by 500,000. The Tories did. They changed the rules on the...
Listen to me, Chloe. I just said that. In the dog days of the Tory government, they implemented those measures. Labour didn't oppose them. They supported them. And that has dramatically reduced migration.
It's fair to say Labour have tried to take credit for that. They were all over social media boasting about it when we heard that the net migration figures had gone down. They're just playing with the numbers. I mean, we had the Transport Minister...
OK, so have they reduced by half?
Earlier,
have they reduced by half? Yes, they have.
Yes, they have. But they didn't do it. You may say, technically they supported the Tories. It wasn't their measure.
All right, great debate. I will just say, for Ofcom reasons, of course, we do not promote illegality or criminality, but I think, Paul, you were referring to breaking laws, international laws, maritime laws and so on, which isn't the same as domestic British law.
I'm not... And I don't want to see any... I don't want to see any violence. What I'm saying is, if you stuck a naval ship at Dover... and you used our Royal Navy to stop the immigrants coming across on the dinghies, it would stop very quickly.
Yeah, if they want to do it, they can do it. If you just call a national emergency, say the security of men, women, girls, children in this country is under threat, you can do what you want. Well, I'd argue you do what you want anyway. Stuff it.